Welcome to the Rialto Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education for August 28th, 2024. Okay, any individual who requires disability-related accommodations or modifications, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting, should contact the superintendent or designee in writing. Going to take a lot of sips of water tonight. Okay, call to order at 6 p.m. And, okay, do we have anybody who wants to give comments?
No.
Okay. All right, a motion and a second to move into closed session, please.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. As provided by law, the following are the items for discussion and consideration at the closed session of the board meeting. Public employee employment discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employees per Government Code Section 549557. Student expulsions, reinstatements, expulsion enrollments. Conference with labor negotiators. Agency designated representatives, Edward D'Souza, acting superintendent, lead personnel agents, Rhonda Kramer, Roxanne Dominguez, and Armando Ortega, personnel services. Employee organizations, California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, Rialto Education Association, Communication Workers of America, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 Delta and/or Delta 3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation, number of potential claims, 1. Then the next bullet is pulled. I'll read that when we go to accept the agenda. Comments on closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Dr. D'Souza?
That we haven't.
Okay, vote by board members all at once. Aye.
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 Thank you. Time is 6:03. See you after closed session. I'm waiting for the little sign to say on the air. Yes, ma'am. Okay, welcome back. We are into adjournment of closed session. A motion and second,
So
please.
moved?
Second.
Thank you. Everyone at once, aye.
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 Thank you. Time is 7:09. Okay, open session reconvened at 7:09. We're excited to announce that Garcia Elementary students will kick off the school board presentation for the 2024-2025 school year. Excuse the voice again, school year. Before the energetic performance, let's give a warm welcome to Garcia fifth grade student Jennifer Velasco to lead us in the pledge, followed by fifth grade dual language immersion student Madison Gonzalez reciting the pledge in Spanish. Young ladies.
Please stand and face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Por favor, pónganse de pie y mira a la bandera. Ready, begin. Yo prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Thank you. You may now be seated.
Ms. Velasco, Ms. Gonzalez, thank you. Very well done. Proud of you. Thank you. Tonight, Grizzlies cheer coach, Ms. Stephanie DeLora, and Grizzlies cheer team will be performing a vibrant slide line dance and cheer to showcase their Grizzly spirit. This year, they're also gearing up for their competition routine with hopes of a successful performance at the Junior Nationals in Anaheim this February. In case I don't have time to wish you best of luck, I know you girls got this. You'll make us proud. Welcome. You got this.
Captain's calling.
You know we bring the heat. That is a fact. How you like that? You gon' like that. How you like that? How you like that? Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. How you like that? Like that, like that.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy, you met me at the perfect time. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you like. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you, moonlight, come on dance with me. And you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you, moonlight, come on dance with me.
I'll call you next.
Thank you, students, Ms. Delora Garcia, principal, Mr. Gilbert Pulido, and our families for attending tonight's school board meeting. Best of luck to Garcia Elementary School at the Junior Nationals. Go Grizzlies!
Thank you.
You ready? Okay, Dr. D'Souza, can you give us a report out of closed session, please?
Yeah, there's no report out of closed session.
All right, thank you. Before we adopt the agenda, prior to the adoption of the agenda, the following discussion action item will be pulled. F as in Frank, 8, to deny liability claim number 242503 is being pulled. Okay, motion and a second to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved?
As approved, second. As amended, should I say?
Yes, thank you. All right, vote by board members all at once.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have no presentations and tonight's comments, public comments on agenda items.
There is one request from Chris Cardasco.
Good evening, Rialto Unified family. I'm Chris Cardasco, Chapter 203 President. Tonight I'm speaking on item F5 and F6. They are our contract and also the class and comp. So happy to be here asking for your approval of these items. And in my time later this evening, I'll be going a little bit more detail on the class and comp. But thank you.
And congratulations on getting that passed.
I just have a quick question in regards to items C1 and C2. How come the rest of the comments by the superintendent and the board are in the back of the,
When your request was given to me, it was public comments. It didn't include everyone.
well, past practice, we've always done everything in the beginning.
Yes, trying to get our families home, our work families. So if you want everything back in place, that's fine. It's at a cost, though. Not financial, but to our families.
No, I'm just pointing out that at the last meeting, everything was at the end of the agenda. So I requested for everything to be put back at the beginning so that the community had an opportunity to speak at the beginning of the meeting. And if they chose to hear board comments or the superintendent comments, they could hear those immediately after. And then also the fact that the comments not on the comments on the agenda were put at the back the previous meeting. It's better for us to hear comments on the agenda before we take action on the agenda rather than in the back.
Comments on the agenda are mandated before votes. Comments off the agenda don't have to be on the agenda at all. So that just
Okay,
for the public to know.
all right.
They're here. If you wish the rest of them to be moved up, that's fine. Dr. D'Souza, if he wishes that, go ahead and move them all.
So
we've
you want to
already
do
taken
this
that.
board meeting or next board meeting?
We've already taken action to adopt the agenda
Yeah,
as is, so
okay.
we'll just do it next
Ne-
meeting.
Okay, no
That's
problem.
fine.
So items not on the agenda, there's several items. So first we have Gabriela Gonzalez from Curtis Elementary DLI program. Okay, I can go on to the next one
Is
and
that
get
her
it.
there?
Yeah, come on in, Miss Gabrielle Gonzalez.
Hi, sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
Okay. So my name is Gabriela Gonzalez. I currently have my daughter in Curtis Elementary. She's in third grade DLI. I don't know if you guys heard, but our class doesn't have a teacher. She has a sub, and she's been having a sub since her first day of school. This is her third grade, which means they're going to have state testing and they're not prepared at all for those the state testing. The teacher doesn't have a curriculum, neither does she have the proper materials, and her classroom has no posters at all. Her classroom looks very sad. Our children aren't motivated. They don't want to go to school. They don't even know what they're learning right now. Their homework is basic first grade, second grade homework. My daughter has ADHD. She won't learn everything as fast as maybe all the other children can, and I'm very concerned for her falling behind. I did speak to Dr. Madrid. She had a meeting with us yesterday, and pretty much told us that if we took her out of the program temporarily until we had a teacher, she was completely out of the program, and if we moved her schools, she can't come back to that school. So right now we're at lost. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to move her. All the classes are full. I'm very disappointed because the program is amazing. I want her to be dual language. I want her to speak both languages as well as I do, which gives her more benefits. I'm begging you for help because we don't know what to do anymore.
Is Curtis the closest school to you?
Yes.
Okay. Dr.
We'll make
D'Souza, will you look into that,
Yeah,
please?
we'll look into that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Alexander Cozeda Prado, coach of Rialto High School. He might be coming from the back. I'll move on to the next, and then if he
Yes.
comes in, I'll go to the
We'll
next.
come back.
Paula Bailey.
Good evening, President Martinez, School Board, viewing audience, and Cabinet. I'm Paula Bailey. I'm a proud parent of this district since, 2001? Lots of kids, lots of places. I just really want to acknowledge Eisenhower for the amazing back-to-school night they had. They were serving food to families. We had some great district reps that came and visit us and supported us. Some of them I see here, some are in other parts, and we really appreciate that. Ms. Polito, she always does a great job. I'm also part of the Measure A committee, oversight committee. The buildings are coming along great. Super excited about the CTE programs and the expansion and everything happening. Then we've already kicked off like PBIS and all the other committees over at Ike, so they're really moving forward to a strong, very positive year. I believe it's Prop 28? Mr. Burciaga was part of a meeting yesterday, and many other district staff. We're super excited about that funding and seeing how digital photography and arts
Yeah.
is going to really explode and help our kids learn, because, we all learn in different ways. I also was at Morgan's back to school night. It was awesome to see everyone that was able to make it there. They're really doing a great job there. I have a kiddo at Kelly, that school, 2 administrators, brand new to that site, but they're really making it happen, and really appreciate everybody for everything they're doing. And I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you. Next, we have Nora Mendoza.
Okay. She's on the way. We can come back.
Okay, next is Frank Montez.
Good evening, President Martinez, school board, and members of the community. I'm here to speak on what happened last board meeting. Not only was I taunted and well, try to be bullied. I know how to deal with bullies. I take them head on. Can't bully me. But the challenge that we saw was the way staff was being treated and how disrespectful they were to staff. And my nieces were watching the school board meeting, and the first thing they said is, what is going on there? Why are they treating people like this? And they are Rialto Unified School District students. But yet we tell our kids not to bully, not to fight. And then the leadership does the same thing. Lack of leadership does the same thing. And bullies folks coming up here and standing and exercising their First Amendment right to call you out when you are doing wrong. But then to be angry at a speaker and take it out on staff, shame, shame. That is probably why this district is losing money, because you're ending up paying a lot of lawsuits. And another thing I want to say, staff is not your waiter, your babysitter, your valet. Your entitlement when you walk into these schools, because you are a board member, you're lost, you're confused. Okay, you've lost your way. So stop bullying, stop retaliating against staff, stop bullying and stop retaliating against people that come and call you out on your nonsense. Okay? Because I don't know if a lot of you stayed and watched what they tried to do to me, but not me. You can bring that all day long. So what I'm trying to say to the community, come up, stand up, call them out. They deserve it. That's why they were elected, to represent you. And if you're not happy, you need to tell them. And they should sit there and listen to it and deal with it. If they can't stand the pressure, get out. Don't run for office. Don't sit in that seat. Because if that's all it takes for you to get upset, then imagine when there's an emergency at our schools, when there's a tragedy, when any little thing. So I'm saying we are watching, and you can't bully me. So don't try it. And I'll sit here and I'm going to hear what you got to say at the end of the meeting. And let's see the nonsense you say then. Thank you. And my apologies. I just don't like bullies or people trying to bully.
Next, we have Nora Mendoza.
¿Podría tener alguien que me interprete, por favor? Gracias. No voy a leer de aquí. Sí. Buenas tardes para todos los aquí presentes y a la mesa directiva. Hoy estoy aquí para reconocer a una gran mujer que ha sido una gran voluntaria en este distrito. Ha ayudado tanto como niños, maestros, directores y padres de familia.
So good afternoon, everyone present. I am here. My name is Nora Mendoza Olivos, and I'm here to acknowledge an amazing woman who has been a wonderful support for parents, teachers, staff,
Y también para el distrito, claro.
and for the district, of course.
Sí, que siempre ha estado ahí para apoyar a todos y cada uno de ustedes, ¿verdad? Y estoy hablando de la gran valiosa mujer que es la señora Elsie de la Rosa, que precisamente en este mes está cumpliendo más de 25 años de servicio aquí en esta comunidad, ¿verdad? Y le doy un aplauso a esta gran mujer.
So, of course, in speaking of someone wonderful, it's Mrs. Elsie de la Rosa, and who's turning 25 years old today, and we want to give her a great round of applause,
Sirviendo a esta comunidad.
who has been serving this community.
La señora Elsie de la Rosa en esta misión de vida ha tenido pruebas al igual que muchas familias como nosotros.
So, Mrs. de la Rosa,
Claro.
Mrs. de la Rosa, on this life mission that she has been going through a lot of tasks, just as many of us have been going through.
Ella aboga por todos para que reciban tratos dignos y justos, tanto jóvenes, padres,
She advocates for everyone to receive some just treatment, just like the teens, the youth, and our parents.
y nuestro grupo se llama también Unidas de Corazón. Somos familias que buscamos el bienestar de la familia y regresar la confianza a niños y jóvenes para sentir que su plantel escolar es su segunda casa.
Our group is called Unidas de Corazón, and we are families that we're seeking the well-being for the family and our children, for children to feel safe at their schools.
Y repito otra vez, donde se puedan recibir tratos dignos y justos para todos, sin olvidar que tanto maestros y directores están para dar el mejor servicio a los niños y jóvenes.
And I would like to repeat to make sure and ensure that everyone is being welcomed to the school campuses and that everyone, both children and adults, are receiving a fair treatment.
La señora de la Rosa en su hogar recibe tantas familias que no han sido escuchadas en sus escuelas.
Mrs. De La Rosa receives all these families at her home who have not been heard at the school.
Las guía a buscar diálogo con sus maestros
She helps them to find how to have these conversations with their teachers
para llegar a resolver sus preocupaciones.
to solve their concerns.
Quiero dar gracias también al Distrito Escolar de Rialto
I would also like to thank Rialto Unified School District
por siempre incluir en sus planes para mejorar vínculos con las familias a la señora Elsie de la Rosa.
for always including Mrs. De La Rosa in making sure that in your plans on how to improve our relationship.
Gracias a la señora de la Rosa por formar este grupo de Unidas de Corazón y que Dios nos siga guiando para seguir buscando tratos dignos y justos y que Rialto siga aquí apareciendo en el mapa. ¡Arriba!
So thank you to Mrs. De La Rosa for making these groups, and let's go Rialto.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Alexander Cozeda Prado present? Yeah, Alexander Cozeda Prado. Yeah, go to the microphone, please.
Good morning, or good afternoon, sorry.
Use the microphone, please. Talk in the microphone. And go ahead and start.
Like that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me to just start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've known Coach Silverman since, I want to say, middle school. He coached my older brother. And ever since, I've known him since I was, I want to say, 13, 14. And even then, I knew he cared for his players and the whole team entirely. I played this year. I came during the summer, but I had played my freshman year, and he had encouraged me to come play for them. When I came back, he was nothing but supportive. You could tell he really cares for our players. He made an effort, especially making sure that our classroom was our main priority, making sure that we stayed in class, did our assignments, and he was really our glue. We all, we'd mess around in the weight room, and he'd tell us to stay disciplined and do what we needed to do. Besides the coach, he's, literally our glue for our team. As a person, there's no bad I've seen out of him. Always takes the time to make sure his players are fine, emotionally, physically, and just really took the time to make sure all of us as a team are perfectly fine. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Michael Montano.
Good evening, everyone in attendance and viewing audience at home. We are now just about a month down under our belt of the new school year. Teachers are settling in, students are settling in. Want to give a shout out to our nutrition services who feeds all our kids on the daily, the custodians who clean up after them. But not only are we settling in, so are the ants. So Breakfast in the Classroom has brought a lot of ants at multiple sites, I'm hearing, and sometimes there's more than just ants. So if we can all get together and put our heads together and find some solutions, because I've had ants crawl on myself, and I'm sure students don't want that. They're here to learn, and so they don't need distractions. And so if we can work together to find some solutions to keep the classrooms free of the unwanted pests. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Next, we have Selva Monreal.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Go
Hi,
ahead,
good
Seth.
evening. My name is Selva Monreal. I'm the mom of a high school football student. I'm here regarding Coach Silverman. He was essentially let go, right? Unfortunately, I don't feel it was correct, given the fact that he's helped out my son. Fortunately, he couldn't be here tonight because he's super tired from practice. But he's helped out a lot. The children, my son always speaks very highly of him, how much he helps him out. He even gives him guidance and vice versa. I know that he is a very good coach, especially for my son. He's giving him a lot, and I mean a lot of good advice. He's steered him into the right road growing up. I just feel that he could be a better asset for the football team, given in which the football team has had some cuts that I've noticed. We're just barely starting the year, and that's kind of discouraging my son, other than the fact that Silverman was let go. So, I just feel that that might be looking into, given the fact that it is affecting the whole team, not just the students, but the families. And I, for myself, was working overtime, kind of like a single parent. And I couldn't take my son to the summer school, which, and hence, he helped out with summer school for my son. So he's been a great help, and I just feel that he is a great asset to the football team, to the school, to the students, and overall, really great asset to the school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Next, we have Cesar Gonzalez.
Welcome.
So I can start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to start by saying hello to everybody. My name is Cesar Gonzalez. My son is Aiden Gonzalez. We've also played for the Rialto High School football team. I'm here as a concerned parent because one of his coaches was let go for a reason that I believe was because he cared for these kids. I grew up with this coach as a kid. I played here at Rialto High School also when I was a kid. And I sent my kid here to Rialto High School because I felt that these coaches really care about their students. And the football team morale has finally been up. These kids were finally excited about something good in this program until the last couple of weeks where I feel like the morale has been torn down and the direction of this football team is unknown. I just come to you and I hope that we can fix these issues so that these kids can concentrate on playing football. And if there's any coach that deserves to be on that field, it's this coach, because he really cares about these kids. These kids come from some bad backgrounds, and he really helps them out, not only on the field, but in the classroom. And I feel that he is the right person for that job, and no one else, really. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Randy Silberman.
Yes.
Hello, so I am Randy Silverman. So I am the coach that the students here were talking about and the parents. I was recently let go from coaching at Rialto High School. I did not receive any paperwork. I did not sign anything, so I'm not sure if that's a real thing or not. So that was discussed in a meeting between me and Dr. Sweeney at Rialto. And the case was what the parents were bringing up earlier. I worked for a charter school, and some of the students took summer school classes with me in order for them to catch up on their credits, become football eligible. And she did not like that. Ms. Sweeney did not like that, and I believe there was a kind of a retaliation to let me go to kind of prove a point there. It has been a past practice. We've been doing it for 4 years. It hasn't really been any issues, but this year she decided to make a statement about it. On top of that, I have mentioned to admin OSHA violations, ants, bugs that are within the weight room and the locker room, and none of that has been fixed either. That's been going on for months. I do have emails about that, and nothing, just keeps get pushed on to the next day. So I'm here to kind of find out where I stand with all this. Do I still have a position or do I not? If nothing was signed, and just the overall morale of what's going on, trying to keep the kids focused, in school, make them graduate ready, 4-year college ready. So I'm kind of lost in this whole mix, and that's why I come to you guys. So hopefully we could come to some kind of resolve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. D'Souza,
You'll
you'll
look-
set an appointment with them.
Yes, we will. Thank you. Okay, next we have Cameron Valdez.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
I'm one of the parents that my son plays for Rialto High School football. My issue I have is with Dr. Sweeney as far as these students, Mr. Silverman gave these children opportunity to get credits, get ahead. My son, he has all his credits, but I just like him to be ahead, so this way when he comes senior year, if he's behind, he has the credits to proceed. But anyhow, her issue last year I had with her is we did summer school to get ahead. During the school year, the class that he took and passed with the B+, she did not want to give him his credits once school started. Now, I do know that everything that we do as far as taking these courses, the packets, the school during the summer, even if it is not done at the school, but it is the parents' will when they're not registered in the school to go outside to a charter school or other school that provides them with education. It is allowed as long as there's transcripts. She then placed him in another English class, which he took over the summer, got a B+. She put him in that class. First week of school last year, I went to them and I says, he already took this class, he already passed it. They kept him in the whole first part of the semester and did not give him a credit without taking him out of that. So my son did summer school, received credit, then was placed in the same class to not receive credit. And it seems to be an issue with her as far as not wanting to give these students credit. Most of the students who did take it this year, she did not want to give them their credit. They had the transcripts, all the transcripts were turned into her. She chose not to give them the credits. There was a lot of parents that went in and complained because a lot of us have to work. We don't have time to drop them off at summer school. So it's easier for them to do the packets at home. They're doing 15, 20 packets. I can speak for my son. He doesn't have the attention span pretty much in school, so I don't see him going to summer school because he's really not going to be wanting to pay attention there. So these packets are really good for him to do at home. But like I said, there's some parents that cannot take their kid to a summer school, so this works out for them. Eventually, she did give them their credits, but she gave them credits in elective instead of what the actual credits were earned for. So a lot of it is just, I see the retaliation to where now firing Mr. Silverman from the coaching position because
I'm sorry, your time is up.
Thank you. Next we have Francisco Ponce.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm a senior in football for Rialto High School, speaking for Coach Silverman. I'm speaking because he helped the whole football team a lot, gave us a lot of opportunities like in summer school. Some people like in football couldn't take summer school, so they took packets with him, so they could be able to remake the credits. But Miss Sweeney didn't like it, and some counselors didn't like it, so they didn't really accept the transfers. But they accepted it, and gave him elective credits instead of the credits what they're supposed to, like history or English. And also now, because we're retaliating for him to come back, now she wants to take away football team's team meals, so we can't eat before the games. And now we're probably basically gonna have to starve for the game to play for the team. And Zimmerman helps a lot of the players out, like in class too. Stay in class, stay up, stay healthy. And now because we don't have him, I think, well, my confidence went a little bit. My morale went down actually, just because we lost him. Because he helped me, because I started football for junior year, and and he taught me how to do most of the football work I do right now. And now I'm just a little bit disappointed how Miss Sweeney took away all of her stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Laurie Frisella.
Hi. I don't even need this. Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. D'Souza. I'm here to speak in public regarding the REA's support for candidates running for the school board. Last board meeting, there was a lot going on that had nothing to do with kids. I do not want this to continue. I have been a teacher for 23 years at the same school. I love teaching, and I love all students. These board meetings need to be focused on kids, and board members need to ignore any other accusations and focus on the students. There are too many districts having issues where policies are trying to be made that hurt children. REA has chosen to support a candidate that disregards election rules by campaigning at the district safety meeting this summer. REA has chosen to support a candidate that has contact with this district, which creates a definite conflict of interest. I am a teacher in Rialto, and I do not support James Martinez. Thank you. I was hoping my daughter would speak first, but she will be speaking. And as a parent, that was my teacher. Now, as a parent, I would like you to listen to her and listen to what's going on in this district, especially for Black children.
Thank you. Next, we have Ayana O'Neill.
Welcome.
Good evening, board and Dr. D'Souza. My name is Ayana O'Neill, and I am a 7th grade student at Frisbee. I was really excited for middle school, having been in Rialto since 1st grade. I have participated in sports such as volleyball and couldn't wait to begin my middle school experience. So far, it has been so disappointing. I had to come and speak. The principal, Mr. Vara, has been really nice, and Mr. Bennett and Miss Ennis have been a great support. I cannot say the same for Miss Lydia Adams. She has made me feel like my rights are not important and my voice is not important. And something as simple as going to the bathroom is always met with a big no. She also makes me feel as everything as I'm doing is suspicious. I was just reaching in my backpack for a sweater, and she yelled, "Get out of that backpack." I can go on with more examples, but I definitely felt like it was racially motivated. Thank you to Mr. Vara and Miss Ennis and the counselor for removing me from that environment before she could tear me down anymore. I get a fresh start from what I'm up. But what about all the other students that continue to be treated that way? Please help and be the voice for them. I hope that you take my concerns seriously and that more opportunities are given to the students to have a voice in the way of the school should feel as a student. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next, we have Janine Stubblefield.
Welcome.
Welcome, thank you. A little nervous. It's my first time ever coming before the board. So thank you for listening to me, President Martinez, Dr. D'Souza. We have a long relationship. How you doing? Hold on, I lost my page. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. I want to thank Dr. Madrid, for continuing to be a spearhead for the DLI program for Rialto. She helps put supports in place to ensure the success of all students in the program, from instructional aides for the classes to moving teachers as needed to make sure there is space at JHU for the program to continue. What I'm here to speak about is I want to see the same thing for African American students in our district. As a district, we continue to say that we want our students to improve, but that has not been the actions given for African American students. At my school in particular, our students are 10% of the population. However, their suspension rate was over 20%. I would like to thank the current admin for making it a focus to reduce that percentage, and we're looking to be less than 8% this year. That cannot be said the same for all schools in the district. We've implemented visitors. Dr. Lemoyne is coming in once a year, a few years back, to make sure that we were culturally responsive in our language, but then there's no follow-through. You've elevated our great Dr. Ayana Balagan to Agent of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, but do not fund the work that she needs to do. The lack of African-American teachers in this district is really appalling. We have whole schools with no African-American teachers, or maybe 1 and 2. Dunn Elementary School currently has 1 kindergarten teacher. She's the only African-American certificate staff on campus. My school has 2. Day pack. You continue to say African-American families and students are a priority. I go to the day pack meetings every month, and there aren't anyone there that's mostly not African-American unless they've come to present something. You present your proposal, then you walk away and leave. What kind of message are you sending to the students and families in this district? One of the biggest disappointments was this summer. We had our 2nd annual Juneteenth party in the park. There was so many different booths there, from the mayor to different book clubs. Daypac had a booth. You are the only district in our city, and not one person from Rialto district had a booth there. That was very disappointing. I continue to ask that you show now with your actions and not just words that you think that African American students and families are a priority in this district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Steve Figueroa.
Good afternoon, Steve Figueroa. I have some packets for the 3 board members. And for those, it's public information, so you're entitled to a copy. It's called Baca versus Moreno Valley. These are your protected rights to come speak before the board on any issue of the day in these 3 minutes. Last time, I agree. I spoke about special education. I supported the teacher here, and hey, that coach, your campaign money, put it over this coach. He's a great guy. If he's helping kids, all right, we need to do a fundraiser for him and walk what they talk on the board, okay? And as far as African Heritage Month, she's 100% right, because I advocate for kids in this. And last time I was complaining that because one of the board members paid or got paid from the district, it was in the paper, $3,000 to pay somebody, it was in the Sun newspaper, for tacos, right? Well, you went to that event. Why didn't you go to Juneteenth? That's a really good point. I'm glad you say that, because your employees should be representing the community that you support and service. And as far as us speaking out, Mr. Montes spoke out, and while he didn't say names, he should know when he is to ask for help for Harold Seabram, he would call us up, ask for help. He would come to our events. He would support us. He would text. I still have the texts and emails he used to send, probably closed door information, But now that we speak against him, he's offended, saying, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Well, guess what? Maybe you never were my friend. Maybe at some point in time, we were doing what we thought for the kids, and you were just using us. Sure feels that way, But we've been on enemy hit lists before, okay? Victoria Baca and us, when you did the walkout and we all rallied around you at A.B. Miller, or when Raul and I used to come support you, But maybe Gil was right last time when he said you need to resign. You even said so, at his passing. And so my concern is we're here for the kids, and we got to be here for the kids, and only the kids. I've been advocating in this district for anybody interested since 1985. You can go back and look at all the public records if they still exist. So, what I'm saying is we got to be here for the kids. We got to help this coach. You owe this organization an apology and some support for helping them. And, I would just say, what really hurts is we work on your campaigns, we support you, and then you flip on us and do and do what you said you wouldn't do. You've become the people you said you were gonna, you got rid of, and you were gonna be better. So, a big concern of ours that, First Amendment retaliation we hear is going on, and their complaint should be, what they came up here on the board on the retaliation, that falls under Title V complaints. That's an official complaint. So you guys don't know, while you were up here complaining or speaking, that falls under Title V. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Celia Saravia.
Welcome.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva, presidente Mr. Martínez, vicepresidente Mr. Montes, superintendente Dr. De Souza.
Good afternoon, members of the board, President Martinez, Vice President Montes, Dr. D'Souza, and audience.
Soy Celia Saravia y represento Amigos Unidos, grupo de apoyo para padres de estudiantes con necesidades especiales.
My name is Celia Saravia, and I represent Amigos Unidos, a group of parents that support kids with special needs.
Bueno, esta noche primero queremos desearle una pronta recuperación a Dr. Scott.
First, we would ask and we would want for Dr. Scott to get better soon.
Porque la necesitamos.
Because we need her.
Y también felicitarla a la doctora Scott y a todo el departamento de servicios especiales.
And also, we would like to congratulate Dr. Scott for everything and everyone in Special Ed's department.
Por la feria de recursos que tuvimos el lunes.
For the resource fair that we had on Monday.
Gracias a nuestro presidente Mr. Martínez, a nuestro vicepresidente Mr. Montes, a mi Domínguez, a nuestro superintendente Dr. De Souza y a todo el personal del distrito por haber estado presentes apoyando esa feria de recursos.
So I would like to thank everybody who was mentioned and all the staff and all the families who showed up and supporting us and the community.
También quiero mencionar algo bien importante. Tuvimos unos talleres dentro de la Feria de Recursos y uno de ellos lo presentó la señorita Silvia Reed.
And I would also like to mention someone special. During our fair, we did have some workshops, and one of them was presented by Miss Sylvia Reed.
Fue excelente. Se trataba de meditación. Creo que todos lo necesitamos porque necesitamos relajarnos para estar positivos para toda nuestra comunidad y para nuestros estudiantes.
It was about meditation, and I think it's something that we all needed because we need to be relaxed, we need to be calm to be able to better serve our kids and community.
También las señoras que presentan el taller de Amor y Lógica y todo su equipo también tuvieron una presentación, un taller en donde estuvimos haciendo pulseras con nuestros nombres. Fue excelente.
And also for the workshop Love and Logic, it was wonderful, it was beautiful. We also did some bracelets there. It was excellent.
Necesitamos esos talleres para nuestros niños, para nuestro personal y también para los parents. Necesitamos eso porque necesitamos estar positivos para traer cosas grandes a nuestro distrito, hacerlo más grande.
We need more of those workshops. We need those for the parents, for the people, for the staff, so that we can do some positive things and bring great things to our district.
Y padres, les quiero recordar que pronto vamos a empezar nuestras clases con USD. Los que no han tomado de literatura empiezan con literatura. Y los que ya no graduamos de literatura, ya estamos listos para matemáticas.
And parents, I would like to remind you, we're about to start our USC classes. If you haven't attended any of them, I would recommend that you start with the literacy class. And for the ones who have already completed literacy class, let's work on numeracy.
Gracias a la doctora Gibb por todo su apoyo y a todo el distrito. A
Thank
seguir
you.
trabajando todos. Recuérdense que juntos hacemos la diferencia.
Thank you to Dr. Gibbs for the support and everybody who's been working on this. And let's keep working together.
Thank you. Next, we have Miriam Garcia.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm here on behalf of Curtis Elementary to talk about them. We're having a lot of problems, as the other mom stated, in the DLI program, and we're just here to ask for your guys' help. The substitute teacher does not have the ability to teach the students. You can ask them themselves. They have stated that they've been in class the whole day with nothing to do. It's a lot for us as parents to be sending them to school for them not to be doing anything, especially in the DLI program, as you guys know how hard it is. We cannot pull them out and put them in another, we cannot pull them out in the same school into the third grade classes because they're gonna fall behind. As it is, they're already gonna fall back because of the substitute. She doesn't have the resources for them. Dr. Madrid and Mr. Ross have tried to shut us down by telling us that we need to understand that the other people are human and that they're going through things, but they're really not thinking about the children's well-being, which I believe that they're the most important ones that we should be looking out for. They're not. We've already came to them 2 times. My daughter was out for 2 weeks because of lice, and I called the school 2 times to ask for homework. Not even a call back. I haven't even got a call back for her. I keep getting the messages of she's not showing up to school, but I'm not getting a call back to give me a homework packet for her. She's coming home with packages right now. They're very minimal. She gets them done in like 5 minutes. And when last year she would have packages that were so big. So I just want to see if you guys could just help us. It's not just me, it's the whole classroom. They just couldn't be here today. There's students that have ADHD and they need a plan. The substitutes have no idea what to do with them. I mean, my daughter can state to you what the classroom's like inside if you would like for her to ask her herself, so she could tell you guys how sad that classroom is right now, you know. I just really want help to see what we can do with these kids because they're really not doing anything inside the classrooms right now.
Thank you.
Dr. D'Souza, please look
Yeah,
at that.
Curtis Elementary, 3rd grade. Okay, next we have Mona Ruiz.
Good evening, board, President Martinez, audience. My name is Myrna Reese, and I'm here to talk today about a couple of things that I want to go fast. I want to thank Mr. Cameron Mendez at Carter High School, the vice principal at Carter High School. He's doing an amazing job when it comes to helping parents and students that need the support. He's doing amazing. I wanted to give him props on that. And also, I visited Eisenhower, and I'm part of the bond committee, and we did a walkthrough. Oh my God, it is going amazing there. We actually did the walkthrough, and we're doing like before pictures, and I'm sure they said sometime by spring, I think it's gonna come through, which is pretty much around the corner. So I can't wait to see what the buildings are gonna look like. But so far, it's going great. I'm really happy and proud that I'm part of that committee. I also wanted to talk about the open house that we had. A great event. You know, the heat actually makes it bad for anything, but other than that, it was great. I agree with Ms. Masalaya said with the workshops. Thank you, Mr. Montes, Mr. Martinez, and Ms. Dominguez for being there, participating in those workshops. It was great for you guys to actually see that. I want to give props again and thank you to all the staff, that anybody that had anything to do with that, custodians, to Dr. Scott, even though she wasn't there. I know she was trying to work at home. But thank you, and hopefully wishing her speedy recovery. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, and that concludes all the items not on the agenda.
Okay. All right, we move over to public hearing.
Oh, sorry, Edwin Delgado. I don't know why I keep leaving you off, Edwin. I apologize.
You're just teasing.
No worries, no worries.
Save the best for
Sorry.
last.
So my name is Edwin Delgado. I am here on behalf of 5th District Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. and again here for the 5th District Youth Advisory Council, and we want to thank the district and district staff and teachers at our high schools. We had a good application response within our schools, and this is the second year we're doing our Youth Advisory Council, and students have the ability to challenge themselves, learn new skills, network, and it's important to include them in local government. We just want to thank the district, and applications are open until Friday. And I know district staff and all our high schools have the application with them. So again, thank you to the parents, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That concludes the items.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you really, really sure?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I leave anyone out? Oh, what was your name?
I think
You
we're
feel-
missing two.
Go ahead up there. I'm sorry, I didn't see a form. Oh, Daisy Torres gone? Sorry. They were the last two at the end.
Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Daisy. I'm a third grade DLI parent at Curtis. Just wanted to bring the same awareness that, the kids don't have a teacher. We have talked to admin and to Dr. Madrid, and we as parents feel like we're getting the runaround. We essentially just want consistency for our students. We've asked and we've provided some thoughts of what could happen in the classroom. We understand there's a sub and there's nothing to be done, but however, she's not getting the resources. The sub herself and our students are telling us that they're not even allowed to open the books until the teacher returns. Same thing, the sub is not getting the resources to provide the curriculum that is needed, and we are concerned parents because, third grade is a pivotal year for them. They start the state testing, especially for math, all their core content that they're going to be needing in future years, this is where it starts. So we're very concerned. Again, we just want consistency for our kids, and we want answers. I feel like when we speak to admin and to Dr. Madrid, we're not getting those answers. Obviously, we're all here because we care for our kids. And like Miriam mentioned, not all of the parents could come. However, we are a united classroom. They're the ones that started the program at Curtis Elementary. There is no class at the moment. This is the first year for third grade. So for them to start and feel like there is no consistency is very concerning for us. So we just want some answers, and we want to bring that awareness to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes. Thank you. Really.
Okay. Public hearing, Delta 1. Open public hearing. Any person wishing to speak on the item on the public hearing will be granted 3 minutes. Motion and second, board?
So moved?
Second.
Thank you. Pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the form for public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement, A, B as in boy, 1200, statutes of 1991, chapter 1213, as revised by A, B as in boy, 2756, statutes of 2004, chapter 25, government code 3547.5, between the California School Employees Association, chapter 203, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements. It's going to do it to me again. Legislative requirements for public notice. Board, yes? All ayes at once, please.
Aye.
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 8:07, we are opening public hearing. Do we have any comments, Dr. D'Souza?
No comments.
Anything, board? Okay. Motion and a second to close public hearing.
So moved?
Second.
Thank you. Ayes all at once, please. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it is 8:08. D3, open public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. You read my mind, my poor voice. Pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the form for public disclosure of proposed classification and compensation study, AB 1200, statutes 1991, and chapter 1213, as revised by AB 2756, statutes of 2004, chapter 25, government code 3547.5, between the between the California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Ayes all at once, Board?
Aye.
Time 8:09. Do we have any speakers, Dr. Souza?
No speakers.
Board comments?
Motion to close public hearing.
Thank you.
So moved. Second.
Yeah, there you go. Took me for a loop too here.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, vote by board members. Aye.
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 Thank you. 8:09. Okay, would you go ahead?
Yes. Item D5, public information. D5.1, fourth quarter Williams report, April through June fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Then we have D5.2, fourth quarter 2023, 2024 Williams uniform complaint report. And that's public information available. Next, we have consent calendar items. E, all items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, do we have any comments, questions, or polls?
No, I'm good.
None.
All right, vote by board members. Board President, Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Ms. Evelyn Dominguez.
Aye.
And myself, aye. We go on to item F, discussion action items. F1 is to approve amendment number 3 to the agreement with PCH Architects to provide architectural services for the covered parent waiting area at the District Enrollment Center. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
And it's to extend the agreement term from September 30th, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, and increase the contract by $14,400 for a revised contract amount not to exceed $55,035 to be paid from the Special Reserve for Capital Outlay Projects Fund 40. Any questions, comments, or discussion?
This is the third time, if I remember right, but it was justified back in the narrative section. If anyone in the public's interested, please continue.
Okay, roll call vote by board members. Board President, Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Board Clerk, Mrs. Evelyn Dominguez.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to item F2, accept the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program grant from the United States Department of Agriculture. We have a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's to accept the first allocation in the amount of $77,651.10 for the following elementary schools: Bemis, Boyd, Casey, Curtis, Dullahan, Dunn, Fitzgerald, Garcia, Henry, Hughbanks, Cali, Morgan, Morris, Myers, Preston, Simpson, Trapp, and Warner, with the implementation start date of August 2024. Do we have any discussion, question, or comments? Hearing none, we go to roll call vote. Board President, Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Board Clerk, Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to item F3, approve an agreement with PBK Architects to provide architectural and design services for the new central kitchen project. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And this is to provide architectural and design services for the new central kitchen project effective August 29th, 2024 through June 30th, 2027 at a cost not to exceed $2,106,300 and to be paid from the Special Reserve for Capital Outlay Projects Fund 40. Do we have any questions or comments? Discussion. I just want to make a comment. This project starts tomorrow. And I couldn't ask for a better birthday gift. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I've been looking for something good for tomorrow. So now that I had found out this was for tomorrow. Thank you for everybody for getting that moving, because our central kitchen needs that ASAP.
They do.
Thank you, Fawcett, and all of your team. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. Roll call vote by board members. Board President, Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Board Clerk, Ms. Evelyn Dominguez.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to item F4, approve scholarships for teacher preparation program with California State University, San Bernardino, College of Education, Rialto Project Impact. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, and it's to approve 15 scholarships for students enrolled in the Rialto Project Impact Program in collaboration with California State University, San Bernardino, effective August 29, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, at a cost not to exceed $150,000 and to be paid from general fund educator effectiveness grant funds. Do we have any comments, questions, or discussion?
I do believe that our first generation of impact students are going to be graduating soon and into our, incorporating into the district, correct?
They have graduated,
great.
and we have 10 in our classrooms.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
And for the public, could you just explain just a quick summary of what this project is? Because some of these students were here and they actually work at the district and were doing various different jobs.
So Rialto Project Impact is designed to have more male teachers in our classrooms from underrepresented groups. So our focus is on African American and Latino males, and we have a collaboration with Cal State University, San Bernardino, and just today we had a powerful meeting with Tony Thurman, our state superintendent of public instruction, pledging his support for this program. And so we use educator effectiveness grant funds, which were put in place, and you talked about this today, for this purpose, so that we can improve and diversify teachers in our classroom that are reflective of the communities that they serve. And so we are so proud to have 10 students that are now teachers in our classrooms. We have 10 young men that will be starting their courses at Cal State this week, and 17 for our spring semester at Cal State. So Rialto is at the forefront of this with our Grow Our Own program, focusing on our classified males and our certificated substitute teachers.
Thank you, Dr. Gibbs.
And thank you, Dr. Gibbs, and everyone else involved with that project for all of the hard work. Thank you. Please continue that. Next, we go to F5, approve the tentative settlement.
Nope, did we have a motion?
Wait. Did we?
We didn't vote. We didn't vote.
My bad.
We didn't vote. We got too excited.
Board President, Mr. Martinez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Clerk, Ms. Dominguez, how do you vote?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to F5, approve the tentative settlement agreement between Rialto Unified School District and California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, CSEA. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or discussion?
Glad we have done this. Thank you, CSEA. Both of them.
Any other questions or comments?
No. I'm happy. I'm happy
Okay.
if you're happy.
Okay, Board President Martinez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Clerk Dominguez, how do you vote?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Congratulations, CSEA. Next, we go to F6, approve the implementation of the classification and compensation study for classified employees. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
And this is to approve the classified bargaining unit classification and compensation study effective February 1st, 2024, at a cost not to exceed $5,369,207. $5,369,207, and to be paid from the general fund, adult education, child development, and nutrition. Any questions, comments, or discussion?
No.
Board President, Mr. Martinez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Clerk, Mrs. Dominguez, how do you vote?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Congratulations. Next, we go to F7, adopt a resolution number 242510, remuneration. And this is to excuse the absence of Board Member Nancy G. O'Kelly from the Wednesday, August 14, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Education. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Board President, Mr. Martinez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Clerk, Ms. Dominguez, how do you vote?
Aye.
And myself, aye. F8, we're gonna skip. That was removed at the beginning of the meeting. Next, we go to F9, reinstatement. And it's, do we have it's case number 222374. Do we have a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and Board President, Mr. Martinez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Clerk, Mrs. Dominguez?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to G, other comments. G1, comments from Association Executive Board members. We'll start with Rialto Education Association, REA.
Good evening, board members, Acting Superintendent D'Souza, Board President Mr. Martinez. When things go wrong, it's normal to want to assign blame. All too often, we get trapped in the blame game. As we face issues, I think it's common to pull back into our respective groups, to gripe and complain and to blame. Yet at some point, if we're going to move forward, we have to stop blaming and figure out how to work together. To that end, on behalf of REA, I want to thank Dr. D'Souza for helping us to work through some very difficult issues. Specifically, the district has rescinded the decision to get rid of 12-month pay. On behalf of the 411 REA members who would have been forced into 10-month pay, I thank you. We understand that the business office made this initial decision with good intentions. They were intending to protect retirees, but through open dialogue at 3 virtual meetings, it was our REA members who found a better solution. Thank you for listening. Now we need to rely on our calendar committee to help us to solve the issue by changing future year calendars so that they will end at the beginning of June. The beginning of June. The school years will end at the beginning of June. So I hope in your comments tonight that each of you thank our members for speaking up and finding a better solution. They are the heroes of this story because they skipped past blaming and they found a solution. On a similar note, REA is happy to announce that after over 6 months without a published contract, we finally were able to resolve some issues, and now on the district website you can find the REA contract. Thank you to Rhonda Kramer for helping us to finally resolve those issues. In closing, REA has also signed 3 very important MOUs. One of them was for kindergarten support. Last year we had 5 days a week with 1 hour of support each day. The new MOU is for 3 days a week at 1 hour of support. We also resolved the issue for our TKC teachers. You heard from one last week. This is a class where they have special education students in the TK classroom setting. These are very difficult teachers to find. They have to have an early ed background, and they also have to have a special ed background. And we have 10 of these classes in our district. We went from a cap of 8 last year, and we've now settled on a cap of 9. And on top of that, some of our teachers have agreed to go a little bit above that to help accommodate some families at some sites so we don't have to move kids around. And so I think we came up with a reasonable solution, and I want you to recognize the teachers and the work that they did to help accommodate and come to that resolution. Finally, we signed a continuation MOU for elementary special ed teachers so they won't have to cover more than 10 classrooms. And this is kind of a numbers game, but you don't want to have to go and meet kids in more than 10 classes because with the number of minutes that you have to provide, it just stretches, you can't get it all done. And so it means that within a 10 classroom grouping, you'll have those special ed kids that you'll go and provide services to. Having several kids in one class, so you can provide services to them simultaneously in small groups. But it's a continuation of an MOU we had last year. We're also looking forward to signing one more MOU. This one's a real special one to me. We spent all of last year negotiating for our adult ed, and we finally added them to our union and added them to our contract. There was a lot of back and forth over that issue, but this MOU is actually to give them a retroactive initiation of that contract. So it would go all the way back to July of 2023 when we started this process. So they're going to get some additional pay. because obviously the salaries were changed under that contract, but also some other benefits that they were probably entitled to. And so we spent a whole year arguing about it. We're not penalizing them for how long it took us to solve that problem. They're going to get the full benefit back to day one when this process started, when the district said that it was okay for them to join our union. So thank you for that. We look forward to signing that MOU. And I see I've got a minute left. I just want to take a minute and say congratulations to CSEA on finally getting that class and comp. I know how long you've been working on it. I know how important this is to your members, and it's important to my members too, because a lot of those positions support us. And if we don't, if you can't get those positions hired because we don't have a good class and comp, we're all sitting there with our hands tied and wondering why we don't have the people. Well, now we've got a good class and comp. Pay's going to go up. The job descriptions are aligned with what they're actually doing. It's a win for everybody. So thank you and congratulations.
Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Tobin Binker. Would anybody else from REA like to come up? That it? Okay, next we go to California School Employees Association, CSEA.
Good evening, Rialto Unified Family. I'm Chris Cordasco, Chapter 203 President. And first off, I want to thank the board for taking the steps tonight to approve both those agreements. The contract went very, very well. I want to let you guys know that the district's team was very professional. They were tough, but they were fair. And so we're very happy and proud of our contract. Our members had about an 80% approval rating of the contract at the vote. But I wanted to take a little bit of my time tonight to talk about class and comp and why it's so important and why I want you guys to be proud of the work that was done. So first of all, this process began at the 2018 and 2019 contract 6 years ago. Obviously, the pandemic had an effect. In 2020, our focus was elsewhere in our negotiating, but we did get back to it. All of our job descriptions, 114 job descriptions were renegotiated. All of the salaries were looked at and renegotiated. 28 positions were below 11th place out of 15 districts. Most of those positions are in our instructional aid and especially in our nutrition services service areas. This is huge as we were losing employees to fast food and other districts. And after the class and comp, 85% of our USD classified is now in the top 3 amongst the 15 districts. This is important, I feel, to the district, especially now we can ensure that we're hiring quality people for these positions to provide top tier services to our students and to our community. And it will help us fill the vacancies that we currently have. But I do want to commend our personnel department. Many of our positions have been filled. It's been tough over the last few years, but they've been doing a good job in getting those positions filled. We still have some areas to work on, especially in our transportation, but we're going to be working on those. With this, I'm very concerned about our personnel services staff as well as the fiscal service staff. It's a major undertaking, over 700 employees. Job descriptions have to be implemented and pay has to be worked on. We'll just call it that, right? It's going to take them some time and they're going to need some help. So I've asked leadership to find ways to get them help. I hope that Dr. D'Souza, you can assist with making sure that that happens and give them the support they need. I want to thank REA for your support. Definitely, we value our partnership with you, and we look forward to moving forward in the future and making sure that we are giving quality services to our students and to our community. With that, I just want to close in saying I want to commend all the students that came forward tonight. One of the hardest parts of this position that I'm in is standing right here at this podium. It can be very scary, and a lot of courage was shown by our students, and I commend them. Having a voice is very important. And so, Mr. President, I'd asked, there's someone missing tonight, and this is the seat right here. I really hope we're 4 weeks into our school year. Let's get our student school board member and let's hear our students' voices.
Agreed.
The other thing is, tonight you saw I had to put in a slip to speak on a board agenda item before. I agree with Mr. Montez. We need to move the union speaking time back in front of board items so that if we need to speak on a board item, we're not having to take up double time. Okay? That's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And congratulations. Rialto School, Communication Workers of America.
She's behind.
She's on the
She's
back
behind
row.
you.
My favorite representative.
So, everyone, I didn't make it to the last meeting because that was our first electronic vote. So I was working on our list and such, and you were already pretty far into the board meeting by the time I got done. So I'm thinking we should have our TA ready for you either the next board meeting or the other September board meeting. And excellent that CSEA got their items approved, and I hope it works well with them. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Going once?
They're here.
Okay, sorry. I need to hurry you up, sorry.
Good evening. Good evening, Board of Education, President Martinez, Acting Superintendent Dr. D'Souza, Innovation Team, and viewing audience. My name is Christy Streff, and I'm proud to represent RSMA. I know the school year has started with some positive energy. We'd like to thank all of the M&O team members for making sure the sites are ready to go, tip-top shape. Nutritional Services for yet another year of the successful summer feeding program, and Personnel Services for ensuring our sites are staffed. We have felt the difference, so thank you. RSMA is proud to represent all certificated and classified management members, and we'd like to remind you that the membership drive is still open until the end of September. So come on in, water's good. Our first event is the annual RUSD tailgate. Rialto High School is hosting the Lions of Carter. I am a proud parent of a senior at Rialto High School, and I proudly serve the seniors at Carter High School, so I will be cheering for the Eagles. But I hope you come out and cheer for all of our students. So join us at Rialto's campus, 4 p.m. We'll have tacos, fellowship, and most importantly, supporting those hardworking students of all 3 comprehensive sites. So if I can please leave some flyers with you,
Yes, please
I'd
do.
love to. And I want
Please
to
do.
wish you all a very happy, healthy, and successful 24-25 school year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to item G2, comments from our acting superintendent, Dr. Ed D'Souza.
Thank you, Mr. Montez. First of all, we saw Garcia Grizzly families who were the first performing school tonight. We will have more schools perform during the school year. Our students are very talented and continue to shine. Tonight, I share an incredible event that truly exemplifies the pride and excellence within the Rialto Unified School District. Yesterday, I had the honor of welcoming back one of our most distinguished alumni, Mr. Wale Adeyemo, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, back to Eisner High School. He is a proud member of the Eisner High School class of 1999, and he returned to his alma mater with a message of inspiration and empowerment for our senior class. Mr. Ademayo was accompanied by 33rd District Congressman Pete Aguilar, who is also serving as the chair of the House Democratic Caucus. What an extraordinary event to have 2 influential leaders in government visit Rialto. The entire senior class attended the presentation, and students were extremely well behaved and excited as Mr. Adeyemo shared his journey from his humble beginnings growing up in Rialto in a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom that he shared not only with family but with extended relatives, and to become now a key leader shaping our nation's economic policies. He reminded us students that with hard work, determination, perseverance, and a commitment to they would make their dreams. They can achieve greatness just as he has. You could tell how touched Mr. Adeyamo was to receive a warm welcome back to his school. From the warm reception he received from the moment he stepped onto the campus to the marching band playing as he reached the Performing Arts Center to his interactions with our students, Mr. Adeyamo had a bright smile on his face throughout his visit. He spoke with warmth and gratitude about his education he received at Eisenhower, crediting the school and his teachers for helping to lay the foundation for his success. He even reconnected with his former Spanish teacher, Mrs. Diana Ramirez, adding a personal touch to an already aspiring day. I also want to extend my gratitude to Ms. Saida Jaffrey, who I know worked really hard in arranging this visit for the two high-ranking officials, Eisenhower High School Principal Crystal Henriquez Pulido, who was also a graduate in the class of 1999 with Mr. Adeyamo, and the safety team, and especially Mr. Norberto Perez, who helped organize this momentous event for seniors. It's nice that we had some positive publicity on this event, and thank you to Carter, Rialto, and Myla High Schools for bringing their school student representatives. Our students did a tremendous job asking Mr. Adeyamo and Congressman Aguilar their questions, and a special thank you to our students from our environmental club and cybersecurity clubs who invited Mr. Adeyamo and Congressman Pete Aguilar to attend our annual Youth Climate Action Summit organized by Eisenhower High School on Friday, April 18, 2025. And I'll follow up with that. Thank you for all who organized this event and allowed us to see how hard work, determination, and having a strong education can make a change in one's life. I also want to share a few thoughts on the wonderful experience I had back to school night on August 22nd when I visited Carter High School. It was truly inspiring to see our families, students, and staff come together to kick off the new school year with such enthusiasm and energy. Families had the opportunity to meet with teachers and staff and learn more about the resources available. The event was a clear demonstration of the strong partnership between our schools and community, and I was honored to be part of it. It was Dr. McMillan's last event as Carter's principal, moving on to become the lead agent of student services. And as a former middle school principal myself, I completely understand the feeling of nostalgia and cherished memories, and I'm sure you will serve well in your new role, Dr. McMillan. I also want to take a moment to highlight another significant event that took place recently, the Special Services Open House, which was held on Monday, August 26, 2024. It was an opportunity to open doors and showcase the incredible work done by our Special Services team. The open house was an immense success, drawing on a great turnout from our community. I want to personally thank the staff of Special Services to make sure that everything was ready for this open house. Our board education members, President Martinez, Vice President Montez, and Clerk Dominguez, thank you for attending and supporting the open house. Featured various booths filled with resources, information, and activities like Ms. Alaya talked about, her yoga, to engage and inform all our families. It was great to see so many families attend with our students. Earlier today, that Dr. Gibbs talked about, our lead strategic agent, our lead innovation agent who managed to do such a great job. And she never even talked about that our school district was featured as the poster child at that event, where we had our first teachers, actually future teachers, talk about their program in the Teach Rialto program. It was a joy to visit the very positive testimonies that these students shared in their journey to earn their degrees and teaching credentials, so one day they could envision them in our classrooms. One of the keynotes was Mr. Tony Thurman, State Superintendent of Instruction, who shared his Afro-Latin roots and his early humble beginnings in the state school chief position. The state of California has had 28 superintendents, and only 2 of them have been African American. Again, thank you to Dr. Morales, President of Cal State San Bernardino. We do appreciate the partnership with the School of Education. We have 10 Teach Rialto teachers in the classroom and 17 enrolled in the fall to Cal State San Bernardino. Finally, I want to extend a special happy birthday to Vice President Edgar Montez. His birthday is tomorrow, but I want to take an opportunity to wish him a heartfelt happy birthday today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to comments from members of the Board of Education, and we'll begin with Board Clerk. Mrs. Evelyn Dominguez.
Thank you very much, Vice President Montes. Well, first of all, I would like to say good evening and thank you for everybody that came to speak to public comment. We are here to listen and actively listen as well. We had a great special education carnival, which was absolutely fabulous. I personally was able to see all the services that are being provided for our students. I was able to put a face to the name with our employees. I was able to connect with them and ask them, what do they need from us? We are here to serve. And some of them, they spoke up. They told us what we needed, and we gave our list to Dr. D'Souza. So those things are going to be in motion for our special education teachers and departments. Yesterday was also another great event at Eisenhower. Thank you to Congressman Pete Aguilar and to Wally Arellano for coming out and coming back to their roots. I've always been taught that you never forget your roots. You never forget where you come from. And seeing him back here on his stomping grounds was very encouraging, and seeing the full circle. As part of being a Rialto school board member, I love seeing the full circle. Today, a parent reached out to me and sent me a picture of her son's graduation from last year, where I gave him his certificate, his high school diploma, actually. And it was amazing to see that I gave him his diploma, and yet she shared with me that he also got another $5,000 scholarship for his schooling. So it is very, very encouraging, very uplifting, and I know that I'm doing the right thing when I see these things, when I see the full circle, having, high-ranking officers in our nation's capital coming back to their stomping grounds, seeing high school students excelling in their first year of college. That is what we're here for. That's why I'm here. I do want to thank the parents for Curtis Elementary to speak up. I, as a parent of 3 DLI students, know the struggles, know the amount of work, know the amount of stress that it is not just on the child, learning 2 languages, but also on the parent as well. Especially for those that are not fluent in Spanish. I was very lucky and fortunate that I am fluent, but I don't read it that well. I don't write it that well, so I struggled. So I can empathize their pain with them. So I know that Dr. D'Souza will be following up on those things, and we are going to take care of Curtis because our kids are always number one. The soccer program that our after-school work program that is being held at Boyd Elementary, it is amazing. Our principal shared pictures of these students, and you can see their faces. They were tired, they were sweaty, they were ready to go home. But you know what? They had fun. They had fun. You can just see the excitement in them. And the way that they broke it up, as far as the grade levels, was really good too. So I do hope to see that all of these programs are also going to be implemented into all of our elementary schools. But also, I do know that they're going to be offering basketball as well as an after-school work program. Again, I want to emphasize the importance of before-school work programs for those parents that, go to work early. They have that struggle of having to drop off their kids early at school. So we do need those type of programs in our district to help those parents and be able to support our kids for being in school earlier when their parents can't drop them off on time. I also want to wish Mr. Montes a very happy birthday. How does it feel to turn 21?
Twice. More than twice.
Well, and that's all I have for tonight. Oh, and CSEA, I'm very happy that you guys are happy. And for Mr. Brinker, I am glad that we were able to, and REA as well, I am glad that we were able to work together. I knew that it said on there, but it clicked on me and dawned on me that the word unity is on there. And that word has been in my mind for the last 2 weeks. Unity. When we come together, we get things done. When we're individuals, we don't. So thank you so much, Mr. Brinker, for the words that you said, and thank you, Dr. D'Souza, for being our fearless leader and, taking these issues head on and being able to come to an agreement, and not just for our best, but for the best of the kids. So thank you. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Board Clerk Mrs. Dominguez. And in following past practice, as Vice President, I'll go ahead and give my comments, board comments, before handing the last word to our Board President, Mr. Martinez. I just want to also ditto all the good stuff that our acting superintendent, Dr. D'Souza, mentioned. I want to personally also thank Wally Adeyemo and Congressman Pete Aguilar, who came yesterday. Wally Adeyemo, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury. Eisenhower High School class of '99 was just a real treat for the students to see yesterday and to hear him speak and to see that somebody just like them at the same exact school from the same community came from this community, from the school district, and is at the highest level of government. It's just mind-boggling, and I know it was a real inspiration for them. So thank you to Dr. D'Souza, Dr. Gibbs, and everybody else, all of the support staff, everyone that was involved with that, and all of the staff members over at Eisenhower High School. I do also just want to offer a public apology to Mr. Frank Montes, out of the respect of the many years of friendship that we had. It was not my intention. You know, it's a character of leadership when someone owns up to their mistakes, when someone admits that they might have committed an error, did something wrong, or feels bad about something that they did, right? So I offer a public apology to Mr. Frank Montes for some of the comments that I made. At the last board meeting, it was not my intent to come off as a bully or to bully anyone. So I offer an apology, and I hope he accepts it. We were friends for many, many years, and out of respect for that friendship, I feel bad for what I did at the last meeting, so I apologize for that. To Mr. Steve Figueroa, we don't just spend $3,000 on tacos to feed our students and our parents. We spend millions of dollars feeding our community. Millions of dollars every year. Not just tacos, we give them burgers, we give them vegetables, we give them fruit, we give them everything. But we don't spend just $3,000, we spend millions yearly, and we feed hundreds of thousands of meals to our students and to our community. We have a pantry where so much food is given to our community. And I'm proud of that. And also, I just wanted to make some corrections. Mr. Gil Navarro, rest in peace, never asked me to resign from this board. He asked me to resign from Sandabs. So I don't appreciate the inaccuracies, the stretching of, the far stretching of the truth. And I did so in his honor. I resigned from Sandabs in his honor because he fought Sandabs at the highest level, getting a Secretary of State, Attorney General to offer an opinion in his favor in regards to them really violating the Brown Act by not allowing public comment at their meetings. The other thing too is that we were alleged of violating the Brown Act for not properly agendizing something in May, and that was also not true. It was properly agendized. Victoria Baca, rest in peace. Roe Wilson, rest in peace. And even Dr. Seabroom, rest in peace. I'm going to ask you once, and the only time, please don't come up here and speak about the dead. De los muertos no se hablan. Have some respect for the dead, please, and don't bring them up. Especially Victoria Baca and Roe Wilson. They were my mentors. Raul was my Nino. He asked me to call him to tell everyone in the world that he was my godfather, and I called him Nino out of respect, like I called Frank Tio for many years, out of respect. Eso es respeto. But to come up here and tell me that they would be turning in their graves when their own families asked me to speak at all 3 of their funerals. I was asked to speak at their funerals. and you want to disrespect them and disrespect me and make accusations and throw their names in my face about stuff that you believe they would be angry with me about, when I was like family to them, their own family members asked me to speak at their funerals, and you want to come up here and mention their names? Please don't ever do that again. You look like you're a barrio person. You should know better than that. Come on, man. Anyway, with that said, I want to also offer an apology to Dr. D'Souza and anybody else who might have taken any offense to some of the comments that I made at the last board meeting. But being on the board is not easy. Sometimes board members have questions. Sometimes we want answers. Sometimes we feel like we're trying to hold people accountable. So I offer an apology to the staff if anybody was offended by any comments that I made at the last meeting. But I do agree with teacher Lori Fasali from Casey that we need to keep our focus on the students. On the students. Not division, not infighting. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of chaos going on right now in our community, in our district. There's a lot of changes. People are upset about a lot of things. People are taking sides, or people are attacking each other. People are turning on each other. All kinds of crazy stuff is going on. And I want to thank this man, Dr. Ed D'Souza, for having the courage and the experience to get us through this difficult time. But I agree, we need to stay focused on the kids. Nothing else. Nobody else. This ain't about me. All I can say is I offer my arms to defend this community and this district. But I don't want to be fighting with anyone. Now, we take criticism. It's one thing for people to come up and criticize us. They have every right. You know, sometimes even mud is slang, and, you know, sometimes we got to dodge tomatoes. But it's another thing for people to take it out on your children. And I say this because it hasn't happened to me recently, but it's happened years ago. It's happened in the past.
It's happening to me.
And I want to advise people who consider running for the board, if you have children in the district, you're not only a target, sometimes your children become targets. And it's very difficult.
Very.
These are things that board members don't talk about and don't share. But I bring it into the context of what's kind of been happening recently. So we want to respect students' privacy rights. We want to respect employees' privacy rights. We want to respect parents' privacy rights. With that, hang in there to everybody, to anybody that needs to hear this, hang in there. We know it ain't easy. It ain't easy for us. It ain't easy for me. And we know a lot of people are having a hard time. We know a lot of people need help and support. We're trying to do the best that we can. Our board president, Mr. Martinez, is doing the best that he can. And 3 of us are here tonight. That's what we got. That's what we got to work with. So with that, thank you, Mr. Martinez. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Montez, for taking the rest of that meeting. I want to say ditto to everything but the personal comments. Those are personal. But I do want to add on to it. We are here I'm here, so I don't want to put words into your mouth, for all of our children, for all of our teachers, classifieds, for all of our community. It may not always show it, but I always my heart is to take care of the people that I'm trying to lead. So that means, haggling back and forth as we do. But my heart is, first the children have to be taken care of, then the staff, then the community. It's hard because the community and the children they're the same. So at some point, financially, somebody from outside the community, and I'm talking Sacramento or Washington, may say, okay, how come you're spending so much on the adults, not the students, but the adult parents of the community. It's all one community. And if the parents can teach their children better at home, that just extends the school day and the learning. So if the parents need to be engaged and taught or given a better resource than they currently have, I'm for it. I think the board is too. So it is not easy. Dr. D'Souza's job is not easy, nor is anyone who's on staff here, part of our staff family. So I just thank you all for the job you do. It's meaningful. The work you do is, not everyone's called to do it. Not everyone can do it. And by that, I mean not everyone is willing to do it. So let's remember we're in it together. At times we do face off over information as it's given or negotiation time. And here I'm talking going outside of the negotiation proper. But anyone on the front line, I applaud you. Whether you're a guidance secretary or a custodian, a grounds person, you're out there, the public can see you, and they're going to come to you, and if they don't get the answer they want, you may be on the end of a hot comment. Take it in stride. Just remember, you're doing it for their children. So even if there's a hothead out there, they have kids in this district. And do your best as we try to do our best. We don't always meet the need, but we try. Okay, the last thing. Thank you.
You want me to finish it, or you?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. And my voice going out and you're not having to hear from me, that's my little gift to you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Board President, Mr. Martinez. And with that, we go to item H, adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on September 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Do we have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
we have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the time is 8:57.